I'm going to be retiring in like 15 more years. But I've been researching other countries to retire to. There's many reasons why expats decide to leave the United States, whether it's the cost of living, whether it's just a change of pace. So today we're going to be going over some of my top favorite ones, and I'm going to be mentioning one that a subscriber suggested to me and why that one didn't make the list. That country is not for me. But now let's get into the places I do want to live, and I'm going to explain to you why I think these are the top places, and it'll probably be a lot of the same reasons that you would want to retire there too. So let me start off by saying that a subscriber of mine suggested the country of the Philippines. I know that a lot of expats have decided this is the place they're going to move to. They also have many communities that are just basically like little United States. The thing about it is there's also a lot of other things that make me go, First of all, they have a tendency to burn their garbage, and there's a lot of like pollution in the air. May not bother you. It's one of those things that kind of bother me. I've watched lots of videos, even this guy right here.
And guys, if you guys live like a Starbucks type style of life and you want to go to Starbucks every day, you got to make sure you have good income, because it's expensive. You know? But
he enjoys it. He's going to actually stay there. It seems so far away from me. It's just one of those things that like, I can't wrap my head around it. I know nothing about the Filipino culture. It seems like almost like a trap to me. And before everybody gets upset, what I mean by trap is that it's on an island. Like there's no other place to travel other than the Philippines, and I want to be able to travel. That's why the Philippines wasn't on my list. It's not that it's a bad country, and I strongly suggest you investigate it if you're thinking about retiring. There's plenty of videos out there on YouTube that people have made about living in the Philippines. If that's something that you're considering, don't take my advice on it. It's just me personally, not the place I want to live. So here's a country that in a million years I thought would never be on my list, and that's Panama. You remember the Panama Canal, where when I was a kid in high school, my brother was actually in the Panamanian War, and I'm thinking there's no way that I would want to live in Panama. Come to find out, it welcomes people in from the United States. They have so many different programs to incentivize retirees to move there. They have ways that you can get your retirement. They have tax credits. They even give you some kind of credit card that you can use. It's like the senior citizen discount card, but they're trying to encourage people to retire there as much as possible. The cost of living is so inexpensive. The houses are fairly cheap. In Panama, you can find affordable homes as little as $50,000, just like this one for $50,491. They even have homes for rent for as little as $200 a month. The houses to purchase are very inexpensive, but if you're not interested in actually purchasing a home, it's just as inexpensive to rent. Even though it's very important to learn the language there, you're not going to be completely lost if you've gotten there and you haven't learned the language. You're going to be okay. There's plenty of people that speak English, so you're going to be fine for when you first get there. But always remember to learn the language. It's not your country, so try to learn the language. Panama has also topped the global retirement index by international living. To your advantage, the country makes several moves to attract expats. For instance, the government won't take income tax earned outside the United States. This can benefit you if you invest in a retirement plan you open in America. It also offers a friendly nations visa. You can score that later if you have a pension, an annuity, or a Social Security income at least of $1,000 a month. The visa also works like a rewards credit card. It offers the following discounts: 25% off flights, 30% off public transportation, 25% off restaurants. Like any place, however, the cost of living depends on the lifestyle where you want to live in Panama. If you let go of some of the basic luxuries that we're used to here in the United States, you can live as little as $500 a month. If you're still looking for a modest but standard lifestyle, it can run you about $2,000 a month. But if you had your eye on Latin America, it's not too far from the United States, and it's a great place for a lot of expats to retire. So consider Panama. I do also want to say that Panama has a ton of things for you to do. They have biking and hiking and zip lining. I don't know if while I'm retired I want to zip line, but they have it if you still want to do it. And it definitely gives you like that resort kind of feeling of retirement like you imagine when you were a kid. But this would be so much less expensive than retiring to Florida. So if you're considering it, there's lots to do in Panama. So it's something to put on your list. check it out. This is the one my brother loves, Costa Rica. I know you've probably had some grandparent or loved one or relative or even a friend that has moved to Costa Rica or at least spent time there. It used to be a lot less expensive, but as more people have discovered Costa Rica, it has gotten a lot more expensive. But it's still not as expensive as living in the United States and retiring here. Those looking to retire to a tropical paradise without the paradise price tag can look no further than Costa Rica. According to International Living, rents start at $500 a month in the most popular area of Central Valley, and meals at local restaurants can drop as little as $4. Outdoor lovers will find it hard to get bored here. You can enjoy surfing, whitewater rafting, fishing, jungle hikes, horse riding, and more. And don't worry if you get hurt. The international living rates of Costa Rica healthcare system is excellent and among the best in Latin America. You can retire to Costa Rica by applying for a visa, but you need a monthly pension income for at least $1,000. The cost of buying a home is a lot less expensive too, but you're going to have to kind of make some adjustments to what you are used to as far as a home. Appliances are a little smaller. Everything kind of looks a little different. But I mean, it's something you can get used to. Just know that you're moving to a foreign country and not everything's going to be the same. So a major plus for moving to Costa Rica is, of course, the cost of living is very inexpensive. Cost of food, eat at restaurants, is very inexpensive. And the best part is the healthcare is very good for expats. They just require you to go ahead and have a little bit of extra money. Just like anything, make sure you have a good nest egg before you decide to retire to any foreign country. And don't go to any foreign country and start acting like, well, this is not how we do it in the United States. Well, of course it's not how we do it in the United States. You're moving to a foreign country. Get over yourself. I hate when people do that. I hate that when they do that to another state. Don't do that. All right, so this next country is Spain. My husband picked this area, and it's not on the top of my list, that's for sure. But he said that it's a really great place to retire. He's known some friends that have moved there. And but the problem is, for me, they kind of have a shaky political climate going on there. Not like our country doesn't, but even still, if you're not used to that specific type of politic problems and you're in a foreign country, that can get pretty freaking scary. So definitely consider the politics going on before you decide to retire to any country. Even though it has internal political conflict, it remains a European country that's highlighted for its overall low cost of living and peacefulness. It often makes several lists of the best countries to retire in. With its rich history, Spain offers plenty of sightseeing to keep your mind and body running. Art lovers in particular will love all the different museums throughout the country. In addition, expats may qualify for the country's public healthcare program. Spain's most expensive city is Madrid, but even in Madrid you can afford spots considerably lower than their counterparts in the major US cities. A one-bedroom apartment in the city center costs about $925 a month. I know that may seem like a lot of money, but if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, in many areas you can't get a little slice of a closet for $925. I know in my area it would be very difficult to find an apartment for about that much money, so it's something to consider. Now, if you want to retire to Spain, you're going to have to register for a visa after 90 days of staying there. Just like anything though, before you decide on any country, don't go in blindly. Always visit these countries ahead of time. I know that seems like logical advice, but for some people, they see a lot of things on the internet, they're watching YouTube videos, and they believe, well, I mean, they have had such a great life, I could have it too. Just like anything, people lie. Shocking, I know. And you want to visit yourself, because what other people's perception of a good life may not be your perception. So always visit any foreign country that you plan on retiring before you retire. Just good logic, good common sense right there. I'm not hating on anybody. I can't do anything blindly. I just can't. Here's a country that might surprise you, which it really surprised me. And it ended up being at the top of my list, not necessarily my husband's. We still have some talking to do, but that's Malaysia. Yes. And I know that sounds like really Malaysia. Why? Well, there's a few reasons. Always the top of my list for all these countries is what kind of healthcare system do they have for expats. Malaysia happens to have a two-tier system, which allows you to do like the less expensive, more free type of healthcare, but you can also use your private insurance. The private insurance, you're going to have to pay a little bit more out of pocket, but you're going to get excellent healthcare. And so that's something to consider when you're looking at any country. Of course, look at the healthcare first, especially for retiring, because I hate to say it, but as we get older, we're not exactly healthy anymore. So just know that Malaysia Malaysia does have a good healthcare system. Malaysia for the last few years has been working really hard to get expats to move there. In fact, you can get a visa for 10 years through its Malaysia My Second Home program. Homes in Malaysia start about $120,000. This is on a little bit on the higher end for a starting price in comparison to some of the other countries we've looked at. To rent a home in Malaysia, you can rent them as little as $158 per month. For nature lovers, the country serves as an ultimate getaway with its beaches and jungles. But those who want to keep enjoying the city vibe well into their golden years can kick back in one of Malaysia's many urban destinations. In fact, CBS ranked Georgetown one of its top 10 cities to retire to in the world. You may find that Malaysia's low cost of living particularly attractive. A one-bedroom apartment in Georgetown costs about $175. Cheap. Who doesn't love that? In the more urban areas, it's going to cost you about $140. And again, $140 a month for an apartment. I love that. I never have paid that even when I started working. I think I paid more than that towards my parents when I had to rent from them when I turned 18. So that seems like a dream, $145. And if you're worried about the language barrier there in Malaysia, and I can understand why, their claim is that English is their second language. So don't worry if you're, thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know the language there. There's going to be plenty of people to help you along the way so you can get, all the things that you need. And many, many, many residents there speak English. So Malaysia's good. It's got good healthcare, good cost of living. They're welcoming expats, and you don't have a language barrier. Something to consider. So the next country we're going to be talking about, lots of people in Europe know about, and that's Portugal. And why is it that a lot of Europeans know about Portugal? Well, first of all, the cost of living is super inexpensive. But a lot of people in the United States don't know about it because it's not part of something that we talk about all the time. We're always talking about Costa Rica and Panama, those countries. But Portugal is something you should definitely consider. One of the main reasons is it's the third safest country in the world. Portugal is also known for its incredible beauty and their beaches. Now, the water's really cold and it's not something like most people go swimming in, but it's absolutely stunning. To retire in Portugal, you're going to need to provide a proof of health insurance when applying for a residency at the local consulate. However, major health insurance companies that serve the U.S. also extend coverage to Portugal, so your transition there might be a lot easier. The country has recently tweaked its tax code too for expats, so that's a plus. If you qualify for a non-habitable residence (NHR) status, you are exempt from income tax for 10 years. This would cover your earnings on investments, pension income, even if it was made outside of Portugal. To buy a home in Portugal is very reasonably priced. They have homes starting at about $10,000. Some of them are even alternative homes like tiny homes. To rent a home in Portugal, you're going to be spending about $600 a month for a decent sized home. As you get closer to the beach, you're going to be spending a lot more than that per month. So a lot of things that makes a country appealing is how much is it they're going to charge you in income taxes because you're getting a pension from a foreign country. Even though I'm just basically covering all these countries at a glance, I want you to deeply investigate if you're really close to those retirement years. My husband doesn't know it yet, but Portugal is the one that's going to be at the top of my list, and I'm going to be fighting to the end. But with that being said, we have 15 years. And all of these rules, regulations, programs, and things they have with income taxes are going to be changing by the time I retire 15 years from now. So even though I'm giving you this list now, always make sure every single year that things haven't changed for you when you're about to retire. Another thing is always make sure that the health insurance you have is going to be the health insurance you're going to be able to use when you move to this foreign country. Another thing is the income taxes. If you have a pension, make sure that they're not going to be charging you income taxes, or it's something you can live with what they charge in income taxes. But if you are looking to retire and want to stay in the United States, you want to go ahead and click this video right here. This is where my husband and I go over all the states that we have found cheap, affordable housing to live in. My name is Kristina Smallhorn. You're a real estate whisperer, and I tell you all this because good real estate information matters, even when you retire.